The New York Yankees have given multiple updates on multiple star players for this team ahead of the 2026 MLB season, because there have been a lot of questions surrounding the Yankees and their plans, specifically in regards to one area that they do want to cover heavily. And with that in mind, we now have huge updates regarding one of this team's best players and another one who played a key role before getting injured this season. We're going to go over all of that. You saw Gerrit Cole in the thumbnail, so I imagine you could figure where this one's going. Guys, we're going to jump right into things though, but real quick, if you are part of that percentage that's not subscribed to Yankees Digest, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single New York Yankees update. We have a lot of great videos coming out for you every single day that you don't want to miss out on, so make sure to subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and let's talk some New York Yankees baseball. Because one of the biggest blows of the Yankees season was easily when Gerrit Cole went down with the torn UCL and had to get Tommy John surgery before the year even began. He played 2 preseason games, was clearly shaky, and it was basically a given that he was going to need Tommy John surgery, which he ended up getting, and that played a huge role in the Yankees season. It was a huge narrative as we saw Max Fried emerge and just prove that he could be the ace that the Yankees desperately needed after losing Cole. It wasn't too much of a surprise. There's a reason why Max Fried is the highest paid left-handed starting pitcher of all time, and on top of that, Carlos Rodon came back and had a phenomenal year as well. Outside of that, the Yankees saw a few rookies take place. I mean, Will Warren pitched a full season's worth of baseball and showed a lot of potential, specifically as a swing and miss pitcher. On top of that, we saw Cam Schlittler show up, something that never would have happened if Gerrit Cole didn't go down with the injury, and Clark Schmidt, who also went down with the torn UCL. We're going to talk about Schmidt a little bit later, but with this team right now, obviously at the end of the day, we do know some of the starters that are going to be there next year. The 3 massive locks for the Yankees will be Fried, Rodon, and Schlittler. Meanwhile, Gerrit Cole will be coming back as well, and we have a huge update on Gerrit Cole's return, as Cole, as mentioned by Brian Hoke, is scheduled to continue throwing lightly throughout the offseason and will not be ready for opening day. But initial estimates have pointed towards May, which honestly is a good sign. I know that we all were hoping that Gerrit Cole could come back, but remember, he got Tommy John surgery in like March, so it was always a stretch to see if he was going to come back in April. So seeing him come back in that May area, I'm going to guess later May, probably around May 20th, May 25th, like towards the end of May, he'll probably get a start in, throw, 4 or 5 innings, just so the Yankees can see what happens, and then I mean, he'll obviously do a rehab assignment somewhere, probably down with AA or then even AAA for a bit as well. See what Somerset or Scranton Wilkes-Barre has for Gerrit Cole as well, which does make some sense. So there is going to be some questions that we're going to have to answer regarding Gerrit Cole and where he's going to come from. And being 35 years old, there is a lot to go over with Cole. I mean, the man, since joining the Yankees, has been nothing short of absolutely downright phenomenal with a 3.12 ERA. And the reason it's so elevated is because in 2022, he did struggle a little bit with a 3.50, which isn't even struggling. It's just Gerrit Cole struggling. And then he had a 3.41 in 2024, but one of the things there was Cole was dealing with an injury, missed a good chunk of the season, and his ERA would have been under 3. It was just some bad games against the Red Sox and the Mets. If he hadn't faced the Mets or Rafael Devers, his ERA would have been in the 2s, in the mid-2s actually. So it was one of those things where it was just a few different hitters kind of changed his ERA a lot because he only played in so many games. But we do know that he was a Cy Young pitcher. I mean, he won the Cy Young in 2023, pitching with a 2.63 ERA. The man was absolutely lights out. And we know Cole is that good. We know how important Gerrit Cole is to this team, but going on 35 years old, it is a question mark on how he's going to return to this Yankees team. He's also been lights out in the playoffs with a 2.93 ERA and 78 strikeouts in his 12 Yankee playoff appearances. The man has been elite. So we consider that. We consider on the way to the World Series, he appeared in 5 games and pitched with a 2.17. He was, again, just phenomenal. Gerrit Cole has done everything the Yankees could have ever hoped for when they signed him. And now coming back, it's going to be a big role because they get their ace back. Now, is he going to be the ace, or will we see Max Fried or Cam Schlittler sort of take over as the better pitcher? It's always possible, considering Cole's older, he's got a lot of mileage, and he's coming off his first Tommy John surgery. Now, we've seen guys come off Tommy John surgery, don't get me wrong. I mean, look, Jacob deGrom just came back off Tommy John surgery after being one of the best pitchers in the MLB, going down with a bunch of injuries, including Tommy John surgery, which he has gotten before. Had a 12-8 record with an ERA of 2.97 and 185 strikeouts in 30 appearances. deGrom came back, and maybe he's not that same guy in the Mets who's throwing 102 all the time and is absolutely just the best pitcher that the planet has seen in 20 some odd years or whatever. But at the same time, he's still proving that he's one of the best pitchers in the MLB. And the same thing happened with Justin Verlander, who came off Tommy John surgery with the Astros, had an 18-4 record with an ERA of 1.75 and 185 strikeouts in 28 appearances in 2022. Dude, Justin Verlander was like 38 years old when he did this. He won his first Comeback Player of the Year award, his third Cy Young, and his second World Series. Verlander was able to do that. Now, again, I know that we're using DeGrom and Verlander as two benchmark guys here. That's tough, but we're not talking about any pitcher. We're talking about Gerrit freaking Cole. This man could hang with anyone, and we know that about him. So when we consider that, we should be excited about what he's going to bring to the table when he gets back. Now, looking at everything surrounding Cole, there is a lot to go over with him. And when we look at the New York Yankees in general, there's a lot to think about with pitching. They had 11 different guys start for them this year. Rodon and Warren pitched every game. Fried missed one game and had an ERA a lot lower than a 2.86, but he dealt with a blister on his finger, which messed him up. He still finished with 19 wins on the year, which was absolutely phenomenal. Clark Schmidt appeared in a couple games, 14 games, ended up going down with Tommy John surgery. We'll talk about him in a second. Cam Schlittler appeared in 14 games, had a 2.96 ERA, was absolutely phenomenal. Will definitely be a starter with the Yankees next year with Fried and Rodon. Maybe Warren starts, maybe Luis Gil starts. That's a big question. Gil came back from the lat injury, was up and down, lost some velocity, started 11 games, had a 3.32 ERA, also did not pitch well in the playoffs against the Blue Jays as well, got rocked around a lot. Stroman's obviously off the team. Ryan Yarbrough, it's a question if he comes back. The hope is yes, he is injury prone, but when he's there, he's there. Carlos Carrasco did pitch 6 games, if you can remember that all the way back last spring. Ian Hamilton appeared in that one start for the Yankees, and then Alan Winans appeared in that one start for the Yankees over the summer. So what we're seeing is a team that had to dig into their reserves a lot throughout this season. But we saw a lot of great things like Schlittler break out. We saw Will Warren show he could go for a full season. And yeah, the 4.44 ERA isn't great, but he's a rookie. I'm not too concerned about that long term, especially when the swing and miss numbers were as good as they were for him. I mean, the man, he was good. He had 171 strikeouts, and he only pitched in 162 innings, so he was getting over a strikeout per inning, which is what you want to see from a guy who's a rookie who's supposed to be a swing and miss guy. So we should be happy about that, and we also should be happy knowing the Yankees now have a problem where they have too many starting pitchers. They have Cole, they have Fried, they have Rodon, they have Schlittler, they have Gil, they have Will Warren. What do? Do you run a 6-man rotation? I'm going to say right now, yes, you should. I want to see the Yankees run a 6-man rotation because Max Fried has dealt with injuries in the past. Gerrit Cole is coming off Tommy John surgery. Carlos Rodon has dealt with injuries in the past. He didn't get hurt this season, but he's dealt with injuries in the past. Schlittler, Warren, they're young. It preserves them while you have a lead arm still. You could throw some of those guys in the bullpen come playoffs. I don't mind the 6-man rotation. In fact, I'm for it. Now, maybe the Yankees do decide to throw one of them in the bullpen. I do want to talk a lot about going into the Yankees bullpen, and we are going to do that. Not on this video, but we are going to talk about one of their starters entering the bullpen. Because right now, we do have to talk about the other starting pitcher, who I didn't even mention in that unit, which is Clark Schmidt. As mentioned by Brian Hoke, Clark Schmidt is expected to begin a throwing program in mid-December and could return in the second half of 2026. He went down halfway through the year with Tommy John surgery, which is a massive blow to the team at the time, and stayed a massive blow because Schmidt has been a very effective pitcher. Had a 3.32 ERA with the Yankees last season, pitched 78.2 innings with 73 strikeouts, had a 1.093 whip, which is very good. He looked good. He was going to be a really helpful pitcher come the playoffs, but he couldn't make it there. Schmidt has dealt with a litany of injuries throughout his career, and the hope is that he will pitch for the Yankees again. But there also is a chance that the man who's going to be a free agent in 2026 free agency, well, there's always the world that he doesn't even get back to the field for the Yankees. The Yankees might end up selling him off to a team that could use a pitcher and is going to be willing to take a gamble on Schmidt. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him for sure. I said it before. I'll say it again. I kind of have a feeling that Clark Schmidt has thrown his last game as a New York Yankee. I do really like Clark Schmidt. I'm not saying that with any negativity towards Schmidt. I just think with all the starting pitchers the Yankees have, it would make sense if they see him coming back and decide, hey, let's sell him off to the highest bidder. I know we're selling low, but we don't need to bring him back in free agency. We don't really plan on paying him. Let's try to get something out of, I don't want to say something out of nothing, but something out of a guy who hasn't pitched in a year and a half, which could definitely be difficult. But hopefully it all works out. I do want to see Clark Schmidt be his best self. I really am a huge fan of Clark Schmidt's game. If he does end up never pitching a game for the Yankees again, I doubt you're watching this, Clark, but thank you so much for your service to the Yankees. It'll never be forgotten. You are absolutely a joy to watch pitch. I've been to probably out of all the Yankee pitchers who have been there for a couple of years now, I think the pitcher I've seen throw the most games has been Clark Schmidt. I've seen a handful of Clark Schmidt games. I've seen, like, I want to say 2 Luis Heel games. I got to see Max Fried pitch once, which was really cool. I've never seen Gerrit Cole pitch. I've seen Carlos Rodon pitch. I've seen a few Nestor games as well. But Clark Schmidt is the guy who I believe I've seen pitch the most games. I really have become a huge fan of Clark Schmidt over the past couple of years, especially since starting Yankees Digest. So it would suck to see him go. But I'm going to root for him wherever he goes, unless he's playing the Yankees. Then I hope he gets rocked around. But right after that, I hope he's good again. Just gonna root for the Yankees first, as we all know. Guys, what do you think about all this? Let me know in the comments down below. In case you guys are wondering, because I know this is Mets colors, it is a Knicks hoodie. I just want to make that very clear to everyone before you start to crucify me and say that I'm a Mets fan. I'm not. I'm a Yankee fan, just to be sure. But I did want to mention that. Also, this Knicks hoodie is just really soft, so that's why I'm wearing it. But you guys don't need to hear about my soft hoodie, and I got to get on with my day. So like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a wonderful day, guys. You made it to the week. I'm just turning it off.